Welcome. By now, you have become familiar with a few features of Word. Today, we're going to learn how to use tables, and there are a few different ways to insert tables, so I will be showing you different ways. There are also some features in tables that you will need to know how to use. So let's get started. First of all, a table can have a title that is included in the table or typed before you insert a table. Keep that in mind when we are creating our tables. For our first table, I will add a title first before I insert the table. I will call this Fixed Table 1 and hit my Enter key. You'll notice we have an Insert tab on the ribbon and we have Tables. When I click on the down pointing arrow, it gives me some tables that I can choose how many columns and how many rows. I'm just going to go ahead and enter a table that is 4 columns and 3 rows. Now that I've used that terminology, let me tell you a little bit about tables. One box is called a cell. One column is this area. A row would be this area. As I put my mouse on the side, you can see there's a round circle with a plus sign. That is so I can insert another row. As I am selecting and typing my information, I want to move through my table using a tab key. You'll notice when I get to the end, if I need one more row, I would hit my tab key again. Otherwise, I would end at the very last row and not hit the tab key again, so I do not end up with one more row. This little button right here is called the Move Table button, or it's just Select All. So when I click on this little box, notice that it looks like a little box with a plus sign, and I can select my whole table. When the table is selected, there are many things I can do with it. I can change font for the whole table. I can bold the whole table. I can do the font size. So there are several things I can do with that selected with the whole table. If I'm wanting to just do a row, I can click to the side. If I want to do just a column, I will click when I have that little black down pointing arrow. And then I can choose just my column. So this is one way of bringing a table in. You'll also notice that it is a fixed column width. So I have columns that go from margin to margin, and I didn't choose the size the Word document chose for me. The next kind of table I want to show you, and I'm just going to go to the bottom of the table and hit my Enter key a couple of times. So I want to go back to the Insert tab, and I want to show you that you can actually draw a table. Now this table you'll want to have your rulers on. Remember, you can turn your rulers on by going to the View tab and making sure there's a check mark in the ruler. I'm going to go back to the Insert and Table, and we will draw a table. It looks like it is a little pencil. We just click and drag. You can see that I can click and drag whatever size I want. And then to put columns in, I just draw the columns in. I can also draw in some rows. And then we have a table. To turn off the draw table, I will need to click on the draw table again. Now, you'll also notice that we still have columns that are this way, and we have rows that are going from left to right. And we still have our little button that says it's the Move button or the Select All button. We can move the table over. That's what this move button does, but mostly it does select the whole table. Another thing we can do, I want you to notice up in the ribbon, we now have table tools. We have a design tab and a layout tab. In the design tab, there are table styles that are preset. In these styles, you will see that they have colors and different options that you can use. If you choose one of these options, you will see that color comes in, and it's a preset color. If I want to choose my own coloring, I can choose a row. I can go to the shading button that looks like a bucket, click on a color, and because there will probably be writing, I will choose a light color, and I could put that just where I want it, and it doesn't need to go anywhere else. I'm just going to put it on the top row. There's one more kind of table that I want to show you. So right here, I'm going to hit my enter key so you can know what I did. Draw table. And my last table that we're going to do is I'm going to use the insert table feature. And this one will give me a little bit more options to use. So insert table and insert table, and a dialog box will come up. This, I can choose how many columns, and I can choose how many rows, and right now I'll just do 2. Then you have auto fit behavior. We have an auto fit with the fixed column width, like what we had on the very first table. We have an auto fit to contents, which that's the one we're going to use for this, and you'll see how different it comes in. And click on OK. It looks like a very tiny little column, and I can actually type in your first and last name, and you'll notice that as I type in the column, it widens out. I'll tab over, and I can click in here and say classes, tab over, and type. So as I move again and I tab over, if I tab again, I will get another row. So these are some things, and these are the kind of tables that we can use. We're going to go ahead and get a brand new document and actually create a table together that you will turn in. Click on your new button or get a new file. So file, if you don't have this button in your quick access toolbar, you can get it by putting a check mark here, and then all you have to do is click on new. Or to get a new document, you will do file and new and blank document. The first thing we're going to do, of course, is to name our file. So file, save as, go to your own drive. While you're in your own drive, you will actually go to your Word Lesson 3 folder, and you will name this one your class hour dot practice table 1 dot your last dot your first, and go ahead and save it. Now with this particular file open, we are going to use the insert table feature. We are going to need 3 columns, and we will need about 5 or 6 rows. I do want it on auto fit to contents and click OK. Now you saw before in my samples that we did a title above. This time we're going to put a title in our actual table. And we are going to name it Business Classes Offered. And then I will hit my enter key. Notice that it will go down to the next line without putting a line there. And we will type in Union High School. Now, a feature that we have here that we're going to use is called to merge and center. We are going to select all three of these cells on the top row. We will then go to the Layout tab of the Table Tools, and we will go to the Merge Cells button. It actually merged all three cells together, but you notice that it did not center these or bold or do anything else. So I'm going to go to the Home tab. We're going to choose a font. Choose one that you like, but at least choose something that is easy to read. I'll just go with Comic Sans, and I want you to bold it, and I want you to center it. The next thing we're going to do is type in class, hit your enter key, name, and then tab over instructor, tab over open, hit your enter key, 2. Now because these will look better if I center them, but there is another feature that I want to show you. If I put my mouse on the line underneath those words we just typed, you'll notice I have a two-headed arrow. I want to bring this down so that there's a little bit more space in this particular area here, in that row of cells. I'll go back to the Layout tools of my Table Tools, Layout tab, and over here in the alignment group, I'm going to select the row first. And in my alignment group, I want to align that to the center. With it aligned to the center, you'll see how it went to the center of those cells. We are then going to type in some classes that are offered here at Union. Computer Tech. The instructor is me, Sue Timothy, and it's open to freshmen and sophomores, and sometimes even juniors and seniors take this class. Tab over, and it will take you to the next line. Web page design, Danielle Labrum. All students. Notice how the cells widen out as we type. That is what the auto feature does, auto fit feature. Tab again, business, communications, Danielle Labrum. And this is a junior senior class. The seniors take it for a senior English credit. We then have word processing, Sue Timothy, and this is offered to all students. Because I need another row, we will just tab and create a new row. Exploring Computer Science. Just follow along. Okay, there's a few more features and a few more things that we want to do. First, we're going to bold this row. So here we have it bolded. I'm going to select this top row. I will select the row, go to the Design tab, go to the Borders and Shading at the bottom of the Borders button, and in that dialog box, I will choose a border. Notice it applies to the cell. I'm going to leave it on 3 points for width, and I'm going to go to the Shading tab. I will fill it with a light color because there is writing in it, and I will click on OK. Now I have a nice border in this table. Another feature that we need to learn how to do is I will select everything but that first cell, and then on the Layout tab there is a Sort button. Go ahead and click on the Sort button, and one of the things we want to do, I don't want class name to be sorted, so I will tell it I have a header row. That means I have these words up here, and now they have it as sort by. So in the sort, I want to sort by class. It is text, and it is using the paragraphs. I will do it in ascending order and click on OK. You will see now that they are all alphabetized. It doesn't quite look right, so I am going to take this column right here, and I would like it to be in the top center align. I will take the last row and I will put it top right align. Now, doing these kind of alignments, I can actually go to my Home tab and notice that they changed when I changed these. So I can either align them using the Home tab, or I can align them using the Layout tab with this alignment here. I'm again going to sort all of these classes, and I'm going to go ahead and sort. I do need a header row. I'm going to sort by instructor, and I will do it in descending order and click on OK. In descending order, the S comes before the D, so that's how we have that. This is all you will need to know to do your assignments. There will be a few more things that you will learn in the assignment. Please make sure, now that you have this saved, that we do put in a header with your name, tab over, put in your document info of your file name, tab over and put in the date, and click on OK. Close your header footer. One last thing I would like to do is we're going to select the whole table, and we're going to move this table to the center. Now, we've learned how to vertically center a document. That's the last thing we're going to do. You may remember that is all you need to do is Layout tab, Page Setup, go to the Layout tab and do the vertical alignment to center and click on OK. It is now in the center. I'm going to use my zoom out so you can see that it is in the center. Save it again and then turn it in with your assignments for Word Lesson 3. You're doing great. I look forward to seeing your work. Good job.